Now let us go back. Let us go back to the, before we move on, I just want to say to you that in the beginning of this presentation, I say to you that nobody, no grade 12 learner can answer an essay type question if he doesn't know the facts, if he doesn't know the content. And here you see, in this question 9, we ask you content that you are supposed to know. Firstly, we ask you to describe what is conflict in the introduction. Then we say to you, mention only just four types of difficult people. If you don't know any type of difficult people, you are not going to answer and to get marks for that. So very important, as I'm saying in the beginning, I told you that every learner must remember you cannot answer an essay type question correctly if you don't know the content of the topic. Now let us go for the second part of this question, and the question say, mention then ways in dealing with difficult people. Now very important is, if your textbook or if the examination guideline says you must at least mention 10, then you study the 10 ways in which you can answer or you can deal with it. So I'm saying to you, answer as many as possible, because it's a downfall. We don't know how many of these strategies that we can use to deal with this type of people can be used. So answer as many as possible. They say here to us, the second heading is now, stay calm and in control of the situation. Stay calm and in control. Remember, there are those angry persons, those guys that looks for conflict. If you are not calm, then they will run over you, because they will also make you angry, because they want to look for conflict. Try to understand why the person acts in a particular way. Get the perspective from others who experience the same situation. Inform the person of your intentions and reasons for your actions. Treat the person with respect and dignity. Ask for assistance from someone with authority and experience. Evaluate the situation objectively and communicate effectively. Try to meet the person's needs and monitor the relationship. Very important. As I say, we don't know how many we should mention, but mention as many as you can, and only when the memorandum is available, you will see that you only had to answer 4 of them. But very important is answer as many as possible, and try that you answer is relevant to the question. Is it okay? Right. Then we come to the next part of the question, and the next part of the question is also highlight the application of workplace forums in resolving conflict. Very important, workplace forums in resolving conflict. Right, and this is our next heading. There is it. The role of the workplace forums. Right, once again, you don't know how many you should mention, how many roles, how many of these roles you should mention, but write as many as possible. So up to 10 marks. They say these representative communicate the interest of the employees with the management team and the business and discourage the participation of employees in decision making. In other words, we don't have to write it the very same way. Here we can say they communicate the interest of the employees with the management, and they encourage participation of employees in the decision-making process. 2 marks. It may be formed when there are more than 100 workers in the workplace. This one is important. It can only be formed when there are 100 workers in the workplace. It protects employees against unfair dismissal. It ensures that employees have a say in the decision making. Prevent decision making by employers only. Collective bargaining workplace forums are good method in handling conflict between employers and employees. In most cases, a workplace forum handles grievances before conflict arises. In other words, what does it mean? It means that the workers go to the workplace forum and tell them, hey man, we are unhappy about this. And then they will try to solve the grievance first. The workplace forum has the right to consult in advance by the employer when decisions about the following are taken: restructuring of workers, new work methods, and amalgamation acquisitions, change in ownership of the business. In other words, if there's a change in the business, the workplace forums, and it will have an effect. It doesn't matter negative or positive on the workers. The workplace forums has got the right to consult with the workers in advance. It is favorable to effectiveness and productivity in the workplace, and it protects against job discrimination in the workplace, provide democracy in the workplace, and so forth. You see, I have told you that write as many as possible and make sure that what you write is relevant to workplace forums in resolving conflict. So very, very important is write as many. We will give you, the memorandum says, only 10 marks. In other words, you go and do 5. The others, if you have mentioned too much, too many, then it can go as marks for insight and so on. And then when you are through with that, it comes to the last part, and the last part of the essay type question is the following. Other techniques is the conclusion. Very important, it's the conclusion. Now I have said in the beginning, remember your conclusion must link. Your conclusion must link with your introduction. And in your introduction, we mention about conflict. Now they say here to us, other ways. In other words, the conclusion must also link with conflict. Other techniques can be used are mediation, and arbitration. It can be used in conflict resolution. You see there? Just 2 marks for one fact. Or, if the learner comes up with a response of, the CCMA helps to resolve disputes between different employers and employees. 2 marks, one fact, 2 marks. And very important is, you can now see grade 12, this was not an easy and very difficult question. It was an easy question if you know the content. So I want to wish you well and to wish you luck on the 19th. And you must remember, essay writing is part and parcel of the question, in answering the question. Now, I want to close off by saying, when in September, when I asked one of the learners, which question did he answer? He said to me, I have answered question 10, sir. And I said, how was the question? He said, it was as easy because it was as when you eat a milk tart, you don't think of that in the main ingredient of this milk tart was milk. So therefore he says to me, I was eating the milk tart, not even thinking of the ingredients of it. So very important is, if you know the content of the grade 12 curriculum, it will be as easy as eating a milk tart, answering your essay type questions. Good luck for the 19th. I will see you also in the next presentation tomorrow morning. And there I'm going to look into, I will try and get you to how to prepare you for the entire question paper. But very important is, I hope that you have enjoyed and that you have learned from this presentation this afternoon. I thank you so much. Bye.